Hello and welcome to another episode of the NBA 2K podcast. I am your host, RF Ribeiro, and we're almost there. The Olympics have begun, if you're into that. On the NBA 2K25 front, the only thing that I've seen is rookies guessing their overalls in the game. NBA rookies. Like Ronnie 2K going up to them asking what they think their overalls will be. So, in other words, there's not much to talk about involving NBA 2K25. So I thought I would make this podcast about the popular top posts of the week in the NBA 2K subreddit. And I picked a few of them out that I can look at and talk about a little bit. Okay. So first, there's a post 5 days ago with the mention of 2K tattoos being outrageous. There's a swastika tattoo on a player, and it's not uncommon, but this brings to mind the fact that we still don't have an easy way to report people. And I guess the argument against it is people would just mass report anybody for whatever reason, or they would just report people because they don't like them. And while that may be true, the solution, which can be achieved for a company of 2K's size, is to implement the report system so that if there's an abnormal amount of reports towards an individual, you can have a human check the report. Anything else under, 50 reports, 100, whatever the number, minimum requirement for a human to check, and doing that would be great. I think I'm sure there's other solutions, but that one I think would be the best one, because this kind of stuff is not uncommon. But the report button could be for many other things. This could be people throwing the game, which happens a lot if you're playing by yourself, in the rec especially. People threatening real life violence against other people, which if you play enough rec, it happens a lot. Just anything that breaks NBA 2K terms of service, not only 2K terms of service, but even consoles terms of service. There's a lot of people that do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing, but they get away with it because there's no easy to access report system. So, it would be a good thing to implement something like that in the future. Next post, what's an unpopular opinion that you have about the NBA 2K franchise? Now, unpopular opinions. The top comment mentions that the old school parks were better than the neighborhood will ever be. So, that being a top comment means a lot of people agree. I don't play park, but I understand how people liked the variety and affiliations and the different little parks, and I guess it was more competitive. The parks now, even though there's two options, Rise and Elite, there isn't that need or that competition really. So I understand that. Somebody else said that NBA 2K24 somehow managed to be one of the best in a long time. And I agree with that. I've said it before. I think if they somehow fixed the virtual coin stuff and maybe brought back the auction house and then like just fixed gameplay things that they need to fix and update 2K25 would be like the best game ever if they just took 2K24 and did those things. That's a personal opinion, and of course some people agree. Somebody else said if you stay away from my player and my team and you just play games. So I'm assuming if you go into like Play Now or you go into my NBA, my league sort of thing, the gameplay is actually good, like really good. Everyone is more bent about the two modes and how badges affect gameplay in those modes. They fail to see that the gameplay as it was meant to be is actually really good. Play my NBA, don't waste your time grinding pay to win game modes. So I agree to an extent. I wish it was more immersive in my NBA. It's kind of funny because I feel like they have it backwards where they added the city and all these animations and dancing moves and emojis and you can emote during games and they added all of this other stuff to the modes that people wanted to be more simplistic. And then the my NBA mode, which I would want it to be like complete. Like give me like scenes where like I feel like I'm a real coach or a real NBA player in those modes because they're offline modes. I would enjoy that so much more. And if you go into those modes now, you see that it's just you're clicking on screens. And when you make a trade, there isn't no like, in real life, you make a trade, the GM, the coach, sometimes the players, the president of the team, they will go to the little, the talk thing with the media and they take a picture with the jersey, the player, like stuff like that FIFA has been doing for forever. NHL doesn't do it either. But there's certain games that have done it. I know back when eFootball was Pro Evolution Soccer, they also used to do that, and I enjoyed those little things in the my NBA modes. Yeah, so a lot of people agree that offline my era is already enough for people to enjoy their time playing the game. And yeah, I mean, look, the game at its core, when you take away, that's what I was saying, when you take away VC, you take away all that virtual coin stuff and the microtransactions, the game is actually not bad. It's actually really fun. But it is what it is. And I guess a good segue, there's another post that somebody made just 10 hours ago. How do you feel 2K16's My Park / career mode holds up to the current 2Ks? Found a random montage I made when I used to play NBA 2K16, and it was pretty cool seeing me when I was a kid. It had flaws as any other game, but I do feel it's better than current 2K as far as Park goes. So yeah, 2K16 is close and dear to many people. I think that was the Spike Lee collaboration. If I just confirm, it was, yes. A Spike Lee joint with Curry, AD, and Harden on the cover of the standard cover. Yeah, it was a good game. I enjoyed it. I didn't really play Park back then either. But I'm pretty sure that game had walk-on Pro-Am. I think it was 16, there was still walk-on Pro-Am, so I enjoyed that very much. Yeah, I mean, some people talk about how 16 is the best 2K, which I don't agree. I think the current 2K is the best 2K. But the thing about the 2Ks back then is they weren't as intrusive with the microtransactions, right? There was no season pass. Making builds was cheaper. Yeah, they were much cheaper. the gameplay was simpler. It was more about fun, I think, than anything else. It wasn't realistic. Having unlimited stamina while you're dribbling is not realistic. You could make whites, which I like the green or miss. I hope it's here to stay. I don't know how you feel, but I do like green or miss quite a bit. I think the game was more about fun back then. It was more arcade style, which makes sense. We're talking about a game came out 8 years ago. Technology wasn't as advanced as it is now. A lot of glitchy moves back then. You know what? Let me put my ad in here. Hey 2K community, are you a competitive player who likes money? Prove it on Gamer Saloon, the ultimate arena for NBA 2K players. Whether you're a pro or just starting out, Gamer Saloon lets you challenge players from around the world and win real cash prizes. So no more playing 1v1s to brag about it. Now you can get paid for winning. Gamer Saloon offers a seamless platform with various tournaments and head-to-head matches, perfect for every level of player. Listeners of the NBA 2K podcast can sign up today at gamersaloon.com/ribpodcast. All one word, gamersaloon.com/ribpodcast. Link in the description. Okay, so 2K25 news should start coming out next week. I would, maybe not early next week, but end of next week. Like Thursday or Wednesday even. We should see something of substance. Maybe a roadmap. Roadmap would be nice, because then I can plan out the podcasts with the roadmap, and that would be pretty cool. I think I'll leave it on this one here. So somebody made a post that it took him 5 games to go from black plate to bronze on a 68 overall with randoms, despite going 1 for 4, meaning he won 1 game and lost 4 in the 5 games. And there's a picture so that people can see that it's real. There's actually 2 pictures. He shows you the overall performance, games played, going from black plate to bronze. 68 overall, diming 3 and D point. So that to me means he's like a guard, right? Which is even harder to do as a low overall. Somebody said getting out of black plate is a test of patience more than skill, and I don't see it that way. I think because we're talking about getting out of black plate to go into bronze, and you can do it even when you're losing games because, as I've said before in a different podcast, a different episode, bronze plate you can get to and stay there even when you lose because it's team grade specific. So if you get a decent team grade, you will get to bronze even when you lose games. This guy just proved it, going 1 and 4. Took him 5 games on a 68 overall. If you don't make stupid decisions, you don't get 10 turnovers per game. Very easy to get to bronze. And if you're wondering, because maybe you don't play enough, what is the difference between black and bronze plate? Why does that matter? You're more likely to get games with randoms if you're a black plate going into a matchmaking in randoms rec. It's more likely that people will back out when they see you because your plate is black. If your plate is bronze, the chances of that happening are fewer. You get decent stats, you get an A- teammate grade or so, you get the bronze pretty easily. I know you're here for 2K25 news or other NBA 2K news of substance, but right now there isn't much. I'm not going to blabber no longer. We'll keep this one short because the last one was over half hour, so I'm balancing it out. I will see you guys on the next one, hopefully in a few days. Maybe I got something to talk about that maybe you don't know about just yet. See you on the next one.